and welcome to Vegan Beauty Girl. My name is Nicole and today we're going to be continuing the vegan foundation review series by looking at this B Filter Finish foundation. I am now going to hand over to past Nicole to put on the foundation and tell you a bit more about the application. Sorry, my tea is like at the perfect temperature right now. I thought it'd be good to do another foundation review. I've had this for like a month now. My skin's kind of broken out a little bit because I've just had my period and also I've not been sleeping very well. If you follow me closely, you probably have heard that I've got the most uncomfortable mattress in the world. And I think that's kind of fed into me having my skin like flare up a little bit. So I thought, okay, well if I've got a few spots, it's actually quite a nice time to do a foundation review. You get a better impression of a foundation when you're covering up, I guess, than when your skin's like flawless and you can't see what it looks like over spots. So yeah, I do like to start off by blending it in with my fingers, just kind of like spreading it around my face and making sure I've got like the coverage. Unfortunately, the shade that I've got right now and the shade I actually have of theirs is a little bit too dark for my skin right now. It suits me when I'm a bit more tanned, but we've had a couple of cloudier weeks. So the shade that you can see me putting on kind of matches my body quite well, but my face is a little bit paler and it doesn't quite match, which is quite annoying. So I think because of that, I'm having to put on a bit more coverage than I normally would. Whereas if this really matched my face skin tone, then I'd just use it to kind of like cover up bits like under my eyes or where I have spots rather than using it all over my face. But I have to use it like everywhere just because it does not match my skin tone very well right now. Now I get very self-conscious when I've got a full face of makeup and obviously when it doesn't really match my skin tone on my face that well, because any gaps you may have missed would really show up. So I'm like being really self-conscious about that. But yeah, after I had blended it out with my fingers, I just went in with a damp beauty blender and pushed in the product to make sure that it was really like in place. I find that is kind of like the best way to apply this product. So yeah, I'm just going to quickly finish my makeup and then we'll talk about the product in a bit more detail. So yeah, definitely a lot more full coverage than I'm used to. But like I said earlier, when it really matches my skin tone, it's quite nice to use kind of like as a foundation concealer and just gives me a bit of an airbrush look if I just use kind of in the center of my face and blend out. I really like using it like that more so than having to do full coverage and so that it matches my body whilst it doesn't match like my face and neck. So definitely needed to drag that down to my neck because you do not want that foundation line. But first off, this foundation is from Superdrug. It is their own brand B range. It is suitable for vegans and it is also Leaping Bunny certified cruelty free, which is really good. It's great when your cruelty free products are certified. That is a lot better. I think I can open these blinds a little bit now. It's a really hot day today, guys. But yeah, really hot day today, which is another reason why I thought it'd be good to do a foundation review. Plus, I am off to an event. I say event. Holland and Barrett are opening a new store in Chelmsford, which is super sustainable, so that's why I'm going along. I'm going to see what they've got going on there. I'm going to take you guys along with me, so I'll be doing that in a separate video, but I'm not sure which of these two are going to be going live first because I don't plan my content very well. But yeah, it's hot. I'm actually doing something which is very rare considering, you know, the pandemic, so I thought it'd be a nice day to test out a foundation. And this one came out I think like last month. I got sent them free from Superdrug, so these are gifted. They sent me a few shades. They sent me shade 13, 14 and 15. The only one that matches me kind of is 13. So yeah, let's get onto the shades. So they have 24 shades in this range, which is above the like Superdrug minimum bar of 20. But I'd say a good foundation range should have 40 shades. And as far as I can tell, the shade range just doesn't look very broad, which I'm really surprised at because I feel like Superdrug are kind of like high street champions of diversity when it comes to makeup, and it's really disappointing to see that this range actually isn't very diverse. I have not seen the products in person, so it can be really difficult to judge, but to give you an idea, the shade I'm wearing right now is 13 out of 24, but in reality I probably am more of a shade like 11 or 12 because this is a little bit dark on me, I guess. But yeah, I would say that I was expecting better there, but it is over 20, which is the minimum. So yeah, I've only seen the like online images of these shades, which is why I really struggled to pick my own shade, and they aren't very clear on their undertones either, which is just really frustrating. If you are launching a foundation in the middle of a pandemic and you know people, one, aren't really going into shops, and two, even if they are in the shops, they aren't able to use testers, just make sure that your online shopping experience when it comes to foundations is really helpful. Make sure that you detail the undertones and just give a lot of help. Yeah, I would say that that is a big drawback of this range, is that they're not really doing much to help anyone find their shade. So I guess in the past Superdrug just haven't had to, because they've always sold in stores and you've always just been able to play with the testers and figure out which shade suits you best. Online they're just not helping out much. What else did I say? Have I already mentioned the price? If I haven't, it is £8.99, which is nice and affordable. I like that it is under £10 also. So I think like the biggest thing about this is that Superdrug used to have a foundation, and I think that had less shades. I think that was under the 20 bar, which is one of the reasons why they reformulated it. But another thing that people really hated about it was the like pump. So it used to be one that you'd like pump out, but the pump would just break. Like everyone online would all just be complaining about the pump. Like the foundation was actually really quite nice and it was really affordable too, but the pump just made it unusable. So I really love this new design, which is a lot easier to use. I've had my camera on charge for like 2 days and now it's already flashing at me. I think I must have left it on at some point. So we are running low on battery. You know what guys, I will just check in with you later today. But basically the coverage I am a fan of. I do like how it is when I first apply it. I do find it quite matte. It doesn't look particularly matte, but if you've got dry skin, maybe it wouldn't really be the one for you. But if you've got oily skin, it is quite good. So I think it will do me well on a hot day like today. But I'll check in later with you guys and tell you a little bit more about how I'm getting on with it. So the first update on my foundation is I went into the kitchen and Shada was like, your face looks good. It's going well. Also, I always say this, but I actually feel like my skin looks more like my skin on my phone than it does on my camera, which is really weird. You can kind of see I have like spots here and it's not completely covered them, but it's done a pretty good job. And like that spot back here is off. I don't really know why I'm breaking out. I do think it is stress and I do think it is my period, which I've just finished, so this should all clear up now. Just like, why are you still here? This is it kind of like freshly applied. I am going to put powder on, which I haven't done on camera. I feel like that's sensible. Basically, I'm going to make a good choice today. So just got in, ready to check in with you guys about this foundation, and it's lasts better than my mascara. Look at that, I've been walking around like this. Is my room tidy? Not really. God, I should really do that before I start filming. If I'm really honest, I'm actually really quite happy with the foundation. I think it's got really good coverage, but I feel like I can see it separating like a little bit, but that is mostly because it just doesn't match my face. I'm gonna get out my camera and we'll do like a proper video on this, but I thought it'd be cool to check in on my iPhone. Like I said, the coverage isn't the best. Like you can see that spot coming through. Oh God, I'm sweaty. I've just like walked back from Liverpool Street. It's hot. Basically, you can see my spots. Isn't that cute? But I don't mind people being able to see my spots. I feel like your skin kind of looks a bit better when you let like a little bit come through, because it looks like maybe you aren't wearing makeup when really you are. But it's not like full coverage, and I find full coverage very suffocating on my face. We'll talk a bit more in a bit. So it is now 6:30. We actually have a sofa coming tonight. So I don't know why I'm filming this now, because I've got too many messages to answer. So yeah, basically we bought a sofa on Gumtree. It should be getting delivered tonight. Our sofa that was provided by our landlords, we've just moved, in case you're wondering, one, why it's a bit messy still. I mean, that really is just me a bit. But and two, why we're getting a new sofa. The one that the landlord provided was just disgusting. It had bugs in it, so we had to get rid of that one and find one within a budget. So we went to Gumtree and we've actually found a really nice sofa. I'm sure I'll do a flat tour once everything's a bit more sorted, basically. But if you do want to see my new place, I've got a moving vlog, so do go check it out. So today I've been testing out the Superdrug foundation, and I went to a Holland & Barrett store event all the way in Chelmsford today. That meant that I've had a face mask on for like 40 minutes travelling from Liverpool Street to Chelmsford, and then I had a brief walk, and then I was in the store probably for another 40 minutes with a face mask on. So then I did the return journey, another 40 minutes with a face mask on. So I've had a lot of face mask on today. Like, that just didn't feel good for your skin. Personally, I don't think I actually would have worn such full coverage foundation, like if I weren't reviewing it for you guys, on a day where I was going to be wearing a face mask so much. I think like the less you can put on, the better. But hey ho, I guess these are the things we're going to have to get used to in the new world order. Basically, the foundation, so I think the coverage is still really quite good. You can still see the spots through, but it was like that earlier. Same up here as well. Again, I feel like my skin's a bit more irritated today, but I don't think that's reacting to the foundation. I think that is reacting to the face mask I've had to wear a lot today. It is actually a really nice foundation. How does it feel? Like, at the moment, I would say it doesn't feel that great. I'm really looking forward to taking it off. But I think that's like partially because of how muggy it is outside, and also because of the face mask I've been wearing all afternoon. I kind of just want to sort my face out. But overall, for a foundation less than £10, I actually really do enjoy it. And like I said, it is really nice to kind of just apply it in the areas you need. I'm not really about the flawless skin look, and I don't need anything high coverage, but I do like looking like my skin's a little bit better. I feel like the coverage could be a little bit better because these spots I still feel are really noticeable, but mostly I think it's really good. Again, I think it's really good for oily skin. I feel like it's done a really good job of keeping like my shine under control compared to the foundations that I normally use. I put a bit of powder on when I applied it, but I haven't put any more powder on, and I think it's really shine controlling really well. So it's definitely a good one for people who like matte foundations. I don't find it like ultra matte though. I think the MUA one is more matte than this, which is £5. I've done a review of that one as well, so you can check that out up here. Yeah, and it's really long wearing. I did put a bit on my nose and it doesn't look too bad. I feel like I maybe didn't blend it out really well around here earlier. I do think there are some parts where I'm a little bit cakey, but I think that's because I put on too much foundation. One, normally when I'm doing these videos I end up over applying foundation, and I think that's because I'm kind of doing it for the camera rather than just doing it in my mirror, and it's harder doing your makeup when you're on camera and you're looking at your camera. Also because it's not my shade, I was really making sure I had enough on so that you couldn't see my skin coming through. I've not really had that problem when I was using this product when it did shade match me. So I guess when you really try and build this, you might get a cakey situation going on, but it's very minimal. I don't think I would notice it if I wasn't like really looking for it. I have asked you guys over on Instagram whether or not you had any questions about this foundation. So one question is about skin type and shade range. I think we've covered that, but basically I think it is really good for oily skin, normal skin, and the shade range could be better, but it is over 20, which is a good sign. How does it hold up around the nose? Okay, so I do get an oily nose, but I try not to put much foundation on my nose just because I do have large pores there, and pretty much every foundation ends up going into my nose a little bit. And also, like my nose, I've got large pores, I sometimes get dry skin. I just find that foundation always draws attention to the problem, so I typically do not put foundation on my nose. I think I did a little bit this morning and it's holding up pretty well, especially around the nose, because I know it can get really oily and separate normally around here, but I'm not seeing any of that. I'm saying it's quite a good one around the nose. I did find a little bit around my mouth though, but I think that was blending issues. Can you put it on top of SPF? Well. So normally I use foundation which has SPF in it, and I am disappointed this one doesn't have SPF in it. I did chuck across my Pi SPF face moisturizer so that I could put that on before I put on the foundation, but I forgot. But I have put SPF on before I've used this product before, and I've never noticed any issues surrounding that. How long does it last before it settles into fine lines? I'm afraid I don't really have fine lines, so I can't really answer that one. Does it dry matte or is it sticky at all? It's not sticky. I don't know what we mean by this. I don't know which foundations are sticky, but no, it's not sticky, but it does dry matte. It definitely feels very matte, which is quite nice for the summer. This is another reason why I like to apply it a little bit. If it did match my face, I would probably just put a little bit around here, particularly around the under eyes, because that's where I do like a bit of coverage. I've got a really prominent vein under my eyes, so I do generally like to do a little bit there, and then maybe around my T-zone, just so that it can like mattify my skin and add a little bit of extra coverage. And I do feel like if this does shade match, you can do that, and it gives a little bit of a blurring effect, and it doesn't really matter that you're not wearing foundation on the rest of your face. Does it show large pores? What is the wear time on it? So I actually do think this is all right on large pores. I think it does give a nice airbrush type effect, so I actually think it's quite good for large pores. And then how does it wear? Mostly I would say this one's got a good wear time. I don't know, it's hard to say because life isn't as like fast-paced and full packed as it used to be. Like, it's very rare these days that I'll put like makeup on at 6 AM till 8 PM, so I can't really comment on that because I don't think any of us are living lives like that. But I used to evaluate foundations a lot more on their longevity because that would be my life, you know. You'd get out, go to work, and then come home really late. But you know what I mean? You used to really want your foundation to last from the start of the day all the way through to the end of the night, and that's not life anymore. Overall, I do want to get a better look at the shade ranges. I'd love for them to do a bit more on that. I don't really understand what their shade ranges are. I'm really still quite lost about it. Like, the undertones are just a mess. I don't really understand how dark they go either, because I don't feel like the website gives much to be desired. I don't know, I'd like to get a better look at the shade range before I decide whether or not I'd buy this product again. But beyond that, I don't really have any other issues with it. But yeah, those are my final thoughts. I do actually really enjoy this foundation. I think it is a big improvement on the last Superdrug formulation because it is more shades and the bottle is so much better. I don't know how I feel about the formula because I remember before they used to have a matte foundation and a silk one. So I don't know if they're going to launch one which is a bit more dewy as well. I think that'd be interesting. Maybe it's because it's summer launch they went with the mattifying one. Does it even call itself mattifying? It just calls itself Filter Finish, but I do feel like that is a really good name for it because I remember when I first got it, I wore it, I was at my sister's and she was just like, oh my god, your skin looks really good. And I also wore it on my stories and everyone was like, your skin looks really good today. And I even thought that when I first like filmed like a little story video, it looked like I was wearing no makeup. I just looked like really good. I even like on the next slide I was like, by the way guys, it doesn't look like I'm wearing makeup, but I'm wearing this foundation. And because it was on the next slide, a lot of people hadn't seen that one yet and had already started commenting in, just being like, oh my god, your skin looks amazing, your skin looks amazing. And that was this foundation. Definitely one of my preferred ones, particularly for medium coverage. And obviously it's also in plastic, not that great, and I feel like this is the sort of product that will run out quite fast. We'll see. It's 25 milliliters. What I also find really interesting is and this is so annoying about cheap cosmetics. I don't have many qualms currently of cheap cosmetics, but you know when you get these like plastic tabs on top, it's just sometimes they're just really difficult to work with, and I just can't get this last bit off, even though there's like this dotted grippy bit. I just can't get it off and it's really bothering me. Please do subscribe if you've enjoyed this video and let me know if there are any more foundations you'd like covered in my vegan foundation series down in the comments below, because I'm actually really enjoying this series for a start and I think it's really helpful. I know that foundation is definitely something people really struggle with when they're trying to switch up their makeup, when they're trying to go vegan and cruelty free with their beauty purchases. So I hope you find this helpful. One thing I'm really torn on is reviewing more like organic, natural, greener foundations because I don't really want to buy more of those because typically their shade ranges are appalling. Like when I'm critiquing Superdrugs, they are over 20, whereas the green foundations are often 8 max or something ridiculous. It's really bad, but at the same time I feel like I should create these video reviews for them because I know you guys are interested in learning a bit more about them, and also if anyone else is searching to buy them and then watch my video, I will make sure that when I talk about the foundation I will bring in foundation shades, and that will make any consumer kind of aware of that issue. Whereas I know a lot of white people like me who never struggle with foundation shades don't really think when brands aren't being inclusive on that and don't really realise why it's an issue. So I'd like to draw attention to that. So that's one plus of doing a video. But then on the flip side I end up with a foundation which I might end up really enjoying, but I still can't recommend to all my followers and they aren't a diverse inclusive brand, therefore it's not really in line with the values. But yeah, we'll see. Anyway, please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed the video. This is a foundation series, so I've got lots of other videos on vegan foundations. And you can also follow me on Instagram, TikTok, pretty much anywhere. I'm Vegan Beauty Girl. You can always find me under that. And until next time, bye!